Yo, what's going on, guys? And I hope you guys are doing well. Hit that like, subscribe button. Today, we're going to hit that note, which is the Mavericks, Pistons, and the Pelicans are all interested in Malik Beasley. And I don't know what Malik Beasley's value is at this point. Malik Beasley was a guy who, with the Minnesota Timberwolves, he signed that big old multi-extension that I think the final year when he got traded to the Lakers was like $17 million, and they declined it. It was a team option. And then I believe this past season he was on a minimum deal. Now, Malik Beasley, as the free agency market, has most of the marquee names besides DeMar DeRozan and Miles Bridges all gone. Malik Beasley is one of those guys who is on the market, who is the type of player that who can actually be a starter on a contending team, is a guy whose skill set basically suits any team. Now, the Mavericks, the Pistons, and the Pelicans, he fits all of them. Pistons, he could be a starter who fits perfectly next to Cade Cunningham and Tobias Harris and Asar Thompson and Jaden Ivey, while obviously the Mavericks, Kyrie Irving, Luka Doncic, Dante Exum, all those boys. We could even Klay Thompson now, of course, Najee Marshall, and Derek Lively, Daniel Gafford. That whole team, it fits really well to have a guy like Malik there, give them some scoring that would have helped them in the finals. And, of course, the Pelicans, where the way you look at this is the Pistons probably could give him the most money / the biggest role. The Pelicans would probably give him, I don't know if, I think the Pelicans would give him equal minutes as the Mavs. Like, if I had to choose between the Mavs or the Pelicans, I'm going Mavs, because on both rosters, the way I look at it, you got Klay, Kyrie, Luka starting. I don't know who's going to be the starting power forward out there in Dallas. I think that's definitely a question to try to figure out if you're there. So I just think Malik Beasley looking at Dallas and then also New Orleans, because you're already starting. You got DeJounte Murray, you have CJ McCollum, you have Brandon Ingram, you have Zion Williamson. You're going to have obviously a center. And would he be the sixth man, I guess, in New Orleans? Because I guess he could also be the sixth man in Dallas, because PJ Washington and Daniel Gafford or Derek Lively will start. And then obviously one of those two guys is the center rotation, Lively and Gafford. PJ and Kleba and Omax make up the power forwards with Klay Thompson, Najee Marshall, and then you assume Malik Beasley, Quentin Grimes would make up the wing rotation, and I guess the shooting guard whenever Luka or Kyrie sits. And yeah, I guess Malik would be the sixth man on the Dallas Mavericks, as he would be like their most potent scorer off the bench. While if he went to New Orleans, I think New Orleans, he actually be a little bit further down the pecking order, as I think his role is a role with Trey Murphy and Herb Jones being in front of him, as well as Jordan Hawkins was the guy they drafted last year. They have Jose Alvarado. And then that's all the guys behind CJ McCollum, DeJounte Murray. I just see it very hard, especially if Brandon Ingram stays on this team, for them to play Mr. Malik Beasley. So Malik Beasley, who had averaged 11 points, 4 rebounds, and 1.5 assists this past season. He's a solid shooter. He can play defense when needed. He doesn't do too much. He just kind of shoots hella threes, and he'll attack closeouts and run the floor in transition. Obviously, he's kind of offensively tunnel vision. He's not going to pass, the ball hella, but he's got long arms. And before the Mavericks secured the sign and trade deal, allegedly, according to my coworker Michael Scotto at HoopsHype, Beasley was their top backup option, and the Pistons have shown interest but are holding off amid trade discussions to act as a salary dump destination for draft pick compensation. The Pelicans are looking to stretch the floor around Zion Williamson, as they eye Beasley as a valuable addition. So that one actually makes a ton of sense to me. I want to hear your guys' thoughts. I think the Mavs, if they have the money to do it, seems like it's either going to be between the Pelicans or the Pistons at this point. Maybe the Mavs are the dark horse. But that's what I think at this point. Money and big role with the Pistons, or potential to be a playoff team with the Pelicans? Or dark horse take vet minimum and go to the Mavs?